Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. At the Winter Olympics, the United States women's hockey team took gold in today's gold medal match over Canada 2-1 in overtime, with Megan Keller putting the game-winning goal in the back of the net. This is the United States' 9th gold medal at the Winter Olympics. The Americans trail only Norway in total medals 34-27. Men's hockey semifinals is tomorrow. Team USA will square off with Slovakia. Canada will face Finland. The NBA resumes play from the NBA All-Star break tonight with 10 games on the slate. The Cavaliers will play host to the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Cleveland had won 5 in a row leading into the All-Star break. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. And in golf, the first round of the Genesis Invitational is underway. Rory McIlroy and Akshay Bhatia are the early leaders at 4 under. This update is sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Old Bag of Nails. Get a buy one, get one free deal on burgers on the app. Terms apply. See app for details. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Bring it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Look, that team's stealing away. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh! Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and rolling here on a Thursday. I am Brandon Beam hanging out with our guy, the fantastic, the great, the legendary Tim May. We got Reimer behind the glass. Tim, happy Thursday to you, my friend.
I thought you were introing somebody else there for a minute, but happy Thursday to you, my friend.
What a day that we had here. We've strung a couple of really nice days together, weather-wise. 60 degrees, sunshine, just beautiful. Some people call it the San Diego of the Midwest. Well, it's a little wet out.
Yeah, but I could have played yesterday and didn't facilitate it. You know what I mean? You get kind of behind the 8 ball. I'm
Is
recording
anywhere open? Anywhere
recording
open
my
right
podcast. Now? Yeah, I saw some guys playing at Golf Club of Dublin and a couple other places. I thought at least they were out there on a cart. I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, it's too bad because it looks like we're going back into the. I was going to use a bad word there.
Yeah, I think we're
going back into the bad times.
Yeah, we're going back into the trenches, I think, over the next couple of days. But you know what? Yeah. Let's enjoy it while we have it, because it was a rather wonderful day out here. I don't know. Ironic, I think, is the wrong word for it. But Cortina's getting smoked with snow today. They're having to cancel Olympic events. And I'm walking the dog around the neighborhood in shorts and a T-shirt today. I'm like, boy, this is what those pompous West Coasters must think of us Midwesterners all the time when they see us getting dumped on by 15 inches, 20 inches of snow. This is how they must feel.
Something wrong, though, when you're getting snow and you might have to cancel Winter Olympic events.
Right?
There's something wrong there. Something really wrong. But I tell you what, watching that women's team, that was worth the price of sitting on my couch.
It was very good, right? It gets into overtime. You score with 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Well, first it's got to get to overtime.
Yeah.
I mean, that shot from the point or whatever you hockey aficionados call it goes down in history. But boy, that I forgot who gave. The girl who scored the winning goal, what was her name? I forgot who gave her the feed, the assist, but that was a hell of an assist. It was like a deep pass, and she pulls it off, puts a move on the one defender and then backhands it. But
nice deke.
Yes, Keller. What her name?
Megan Keller.
Yeah, Megan Keller. But what a tremendous play and what a tremendous finish to a hell of a tournament, because they were running roughshod, right?
Yeah.
And then boom, the Canadians got their one girl back who wasn't there earlier, and it was a hell of a hockey match.
It was really terrific. We're going to get into that a little bit later here this hour, in the 7 o'clock hours. It was a medal extravaganza from an Ohio State perspective in this women's hockey tournament. So we'll do that in the 7 o'clock hour. Tim, we're going to talk some position groups here this hour. We'll get into the most fascinating offensive position groups coming up here in our next segments. That's right. Okay. That's right. Groups. So I want you to be thinking about groups or group, doesn't matter.
Okay.
6:30, we got the Combine coming up here in Indianapolis next week. We'll go over some mock drafts, most interesting storylines from the Buckeyes for the Combine. And then at 6:46, we'll talk some bracketology. I saw you had the chance to talk to Jerry Palm.
Yep.
And so we'll see what he's saying, what you gleaned from that conversation about the basketball Buckeyes leading into March. Big game coming up here this weekend at Sparty. Then you follow that on the road at Carver Hawkeye Arena next week before coming back home against Purdue. So a massive 3-game stretch.
I don't think Reimer's going to like one of the things I gleaned from
no.
But, we'll get into that.
Is it North Carolina missing the tournament?
Well, no.
Stop that.
It was North Carolina should have missed it last year.
Well, yes, I think we all can agree on that.
I can agree with that, too.
I know, isn't it crazy? Everybody agreed except the committee.
Yes, and they agreed
No,
to
they
put
don't
them
belong
in.
there. They proved through the year they didn't belong in the NCAA tournament, but they took them anyway.
They got him anyways. That was last year's news, though, so they're going to make it in.
True,
Caleb Wilson,
but-
you're going to get him back this year. It's fine. Everything's
But you
fine.
never know. You never know what's going to happen, on Selection Sunday. So there you go.
No, you don't. Have no idea about that. 7:17, we're going to get into defensive position groups as well. Like I talked about a little bit earlier, a medal extravaganza for the Buckeyes. We'll do that at 7:30. And then Ohio State women's basketball struggling down the stretch here. It's a tough 5-game stretch that they're on. And you had a former Buckeye coach reach a milestone victory last night in college basketball. So we'll get into that at the end of the show. We got a full 2 hours for you here this evening. Tim, what's the biggest thing going on in your brain about the Buckeyes right now? We're still kind of in that quiet period. Haven't gotten to spring ball quite yet. It is on the horizon.
Is this a position glob question?
No, this is a whatever question, however you want to talk about it. Coaches.
Yeah, I just, we'll talk about it more in depth in the next segment, but I'm just curious to see what goes on in the offensive line room as this spring goes on, and what develops and where they move people and then elevate other people. I'll state more specifically in a minute, but that's what makes or breaks this team, in my opinion. I think they helped themselves in the transfer portal on the defensive line. Definitely, they might have found 2 starters there. And maybe a third, or at least a guy that's going to play a lot. But we'll get into that in the 7:15 hour. But the bottom line is the offensive line did not come through on a consistent basis in the last 2 games of the year against the 2 best teams they played. Yeah. And that's simple. Now, defense has got some problems too. We talked about that when you're replacing Caleb Downs. That's big. They might have gotten the replacement in the portal. We'll see. We'll see who lives up to their billing. But definitely offensive line, to me, is where it begins when going into the spring, because everybody else they've got, even guys that aren't going to be working out in the spring from a full-time basis, they've got the answers at all the other positions. I just want to see how whether they shuffle the deck or how they shuffle the deck on the right-hand side of the offensive line, because I think that's part and parcel of how far this team goes.
Let me ask you this question. So our fan poll yesterday, which I thought was very good, and Pat Murphy and I could have probably spent 20 minutes on trying to answer this question, so I'll fire it at you.
One of those questions.
Which one of these defensive players last year for Ohio State do you think will be more difficult to replace for this upcoming season? Caleb Downs or Caden McDonald? Now, we know what Caleb did on the back end. Like, if you watch an Ohio State game, if you were a casual watcher and you hear all the hype about Caleb Downs, you hardly noticed him in the game at all, because a lot of the times, he was eliminating a quadrant of the field. He was eliminating half of the field by just his presence. Now, when a team got the run game going, you saw Caleb kind of shift up into the box, and he was terrific at doing what he needed to do and kind of getting the defense set in that category and making sure that everybody was aligned doing their jobs. Caden McDonald, on the other hand, you saw him just out of the gates, blowing people out of the water. You saw how stifling he could be against the run game, and at the same time creating havoc for the quarterback when they drop back to pass from that interior defensive line position. I went with Caleb, but I think there's certainly an argument to be made about Caden McDonald and the difficulty that you're going to have replacing the big fella coming into this year, because he was terrific, Tim.
You know what Gordon Gee once said about me? Gordon Gee. He goes, Tim May, he's one of the only guy I know who asks and answers his same question. So you just did that for yourself. Guys like Caden McDonald, you don't find walking around the corner every day. There are. You've heard me say this. I'm going to say it again because it is true. There are more premier quarterbacks than there are A-gap dudes, guys that can control the middle of the field and make plays for you on their own. And Caden McDonald is probably the biggest loss in terms of just an effective player when he was on the field, how good he was this past season in terms of dictating what the offense could do, offensive line could do, et cetera. Caleb Downs has his own pluses, like you just said. But if you asked me, Tim May, you've got these talented guys on this defense. What is that one thing you want more than anything else? I want that A-gap dude that's going to dictate terms on certain situations and is going to make a play. If you don't block this guy with two guys a lot, he's going to make plays for you. Those guys are so rare. But Caleb Downs plays every play, and he got guys lined up.
K-Mac played a lot of plays too. Didn't play every play.
But I mean, Caleb Downs is, Caleb Downs is behind the line at least to begin with, and he's getting guys lined up, and he's diagnosing, and then he's going and making plays. So he's the most. I don't know. That's not a fair question because I would like to have both of them. I think to be a big-time defense, you have to have those two type of caliber players.
Yeah, and it wasn't too bad, too, when the guys sandwiched in the middle of them were named Arvell Reese and Sonny Style.
No, but they made those guys better, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, you can ask those two guys about it. And, boy, isn't it amazing Ohio State could have 4 defensive guys taken maybe in the first round of the draft? Plus Carnell Tate. I mean, that's.
I think that's what the expectations are.
I know, but you still got to, as the old saying goes, you still got to go in the ballot box and pull the hammer. But the bottom line is, yeah, they've got. That was a special group last year, and too bad it ended in the first round of the playoffs. But it is what it is.
As we inch closer to spring ball, we're going to take a look at the most interesting offensive position groups. Tim, I have an idea of where you're going to go with that. You had mentioned it a little bit earlier. We're going to get into that. Coming up next, it's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
February is Children's Dental Health Month, so make sure you make an appointment for your child to visit an Ohio Dental Association member dentist. ODA member dentists are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and have access to superior ongoing education and training. On your next visit, ask if your child's dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Around here, it's all-wheel drive all year round. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone, with more on the way, including the all-new RAV4, totally redesigned to be more capable, totally hybrid to fit your lifestyle, with multiple drivetrain options so you can maximize your weekend adventures or your fuel efficiency. And these new RAV4s are coming soon. Contact your Toyota dealer for arrival timing. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 12th at the 2026 Ohio State 4-Miler, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down a tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. You can also get access to the home locker room and meet some of your favorite Buckeye student athletes. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateformiler.com. Go Bucks!
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst. You can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
From the first whistle to the final play, being a Buckeye fan calls for commitment and support. Nature Made vitamins are your winning play. From the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, Nature Made is made to care for fans on game day and every day. So you can go all in on big wins, tough losses, and still show up for your team every time. Nature Made, proud vitamin and supplement sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, getting ahead in this world is not as complicated as it might seem. Having the early guidance and counsel of your community banker, one who knows you and your family's story, can make a great deal of difference. Relationships matter. Bank on community banking. I'm Scott McComb. Coming over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Now we're watching for some rain and a couple of strong thunderstorms through tonight across central Ohio. Then skies will clear into the Friday morning rush hour. A lot of sunshine on Friday, but you're going to notice the wind in the afternoon. Some gusts of 30 and 40 miles per hour, highs in the middle 50s. Saturday looks good, a lot of sunshine, middle 40s. Colder on Sunday with 30s. And yes, we could see some snow showers on Sunday. That is your 97.1 The Fan weather forecast. I'm 10 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer.
All Buckeyes, all the time. You are listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hey, my guy Tim May tonight. Thanks again for everybody hopping in here. You can always watch the show on YouTube. Just go to 971 The Fan, type that in, and boom, you're in. Thanks everybody for hopping in the chat. Sam the Man says, hi, Tim. I would also like to say hi to you, Tim.
Hey.
You're a legend. You're the GOAT.
Right back at you, Sam, I am.
That's right. What do you think about green eggs and ham?
I like green eggs and ham. Green eggs and ham, Sam and ham.
Do your grandchildren have a favorite book, or do they...
I don't know the answer to that.
I was going to say, do they ebb and flow? Because we get stuck on one for about a week, and then we make a hard pivot and don't go back to that book.
Was it Good Night Moon? Was it Good Night Moon?
Yeah, Good Night Moon.
Good Night Moon was a big one with my first one. My second one, Charlie's been all over the place. But now Owen can read Charlie those books.
Awesome.
Which is kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and Charlie sits here and listens.
We're just we're learning letters right now. That's kind of the stage that we're in. And so William, whenever he sees a W, he goes, "That's my letter." That is your letter.
That's right.
Yeah. Then he says, "Daddy, you've got two letters. You've got a D and a B," because he knows my first name.
Wow.
And so anytime that
D'Angelo, is that your first name?
Yeah, D'Angelo Vickers.
DeAndre.
Yes. And so whenever we're doing something, and I'm chasing him around the house, and whatever, he goes, "What are you doing, Brandon?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, man? That's not my name." He goes, "That is your name. That is your name. Your name is Brandon." And then he pivots back to Daddy, and everything is all good.
I like it. At least he didn't call you by your nickname, Beamer.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be his nickname as well. We're going to get into, in the 7 o'clock hour, the defensive position groups and the most interesting. Let's start with the offense, though, shall we? Tim, spring ball just a couple of weeks away. The Ohio State spring game, I believe, in less than a month now, or 2 months, excuse me. I've skipped March entirely. It is April 18th. Over at the Shoe. Tickets are on sale Friday. I think this is what Mike Bassford said for Ohio State. So get your tickets. I think there's a bunch of different autograph opportunities you can have with purchasing that, which is very cool.
It's kind of like going to a concert now.
Yeah,
you can get backstage, and then can you get backstage and be with the guy, the guys and get their autograph.
Yeah, so we'll fill you in on all of that as well. But you had mentioned the offensive line and what an important offseason it is for that grouping of players. And as the offensive line goes, Tim, you see this Ohio State offense and really this Ohio State team going.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the right side of the offensive line. Obviously with Tegra Chabot, who started the last 2 years leaving, but there was a good chance he was going to get beaten out. You got to figure, right? You watch the games. You're a former lineman, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
center was my
I
ideal
like
choice.
You always have to preface, right? But I did like Tegra. But the consistency, especially against big-time or indoor quick opponents, guys with some quickness up front, was not there.
It was up and down.
It was up and down. But, then you start going, well, wait a minute. They're playing him. He must be the best they've got, right? Isn't that what you do?
That's what you would assume because,
Right.
last year we were talking
These are
about,
rhetorical questions.
At this point in the year, we were talking about bringing in Ethan Onianwa from Rice, and it's like, well, there you go. There's your starting tackle. Boom, it's great.
Yeah.
This guy got NFL grades back. And then we looked at Phillip Daniels just as kind of a guy who maybe come in here project. Maybe he'll be starting this year.
Right.
And then you get through spring ball and you get through fall camp, and all of a sudden Phillip Daniels is your starting right tackle. Ethan Onianwa was really nowhere to be found when it comes to a starting spot. So, I mean, you know these things. I mean, they wax and they wane as far as competition goes.
Little lunar action.
Yeah, good night moon. That's what made me think about it a little bit earlier in the segment. But
of course they wax and wane. And, as big guys, how do you judge? The thing about big guys is they can go out and do drills among themselves, during the off season and all these kind of things. But that's why spring football is so important. It is so important for the big guys because that's one of the few times of the year where they get to put on all their pads and go after each other, after an acclimatization period or whatever.
Sure.
Acclimation,
and
whatever.
really, they don't even need full pads to do that.
No,
if they're in helmets and in the shells.
I'm talking about full speed where you're hitting each other with helmets on. That is a luxury. The spring is a luxury for offensive line and defensive linemen because that's the only way you truly prove yourself is playing real football. And so that's why this spring is vital because it's one of only less than maybe when you count up the number of full contact practices they can have. They probably only will have maybe 25 before the season starts, counting your spring. I'm talking because you have to have the days where you don't do full contact and all that kind of baloney.
It's a little less than a month of work that they get between
now
the beginning of spring ball and the Ball State game to open the
Ball State game. Exactly. So it's vital. So right sides, like you're just talking about Phillip Daniels, where was he going to fit in? We all thought maybe might fit in at a guard spot last year and stuff. Instead, he ends up right tackle or your starter. I thought he played well.
I do too.
There were times when he didn't play that great, but when who was that kid from the Bain, when Reuben Bain,
he was pretty good.
Reuben Bain used to walk. Anyway, that's a song. When Reuben Bain could get like a 10-yard head start and come running at you and play dodge them like he did in that game.
That's a tough assignment for anyone.
That's a tough assignment for Orlando Pace.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Maybe not him.
No, it'd been tough for him too. My point is, are they going to end up with Phillip Daniels back at right guard, a guy who played left tackle against Miami when Austin Saraville had to leave the game? Maybe he shouldn't have even started it. He was pretty banged up going into it. But Ian Moore, does he end up at right tackle? That's going to be an interesting watch because I think the left side, and when you start from the center, Carson Hinsman, Luke Montgomery, and Austin Saraville, I think that's a pretty solid, really solid group.
Pretty much set, right?
I like
we
Luke
assume
Montgomery.
that the left side is pretty much set.
I like Luke Montgomery a lot, but who knows? They may have in their mind, hey, we're going to put Saraville back at right tackle. We're going to put Daniels at right guard, and we're going to let Ian Moore see if he can come on at left tackle. Because you got to get, as the old saying goes, you got to get two ready, a pair and a spare. That's for running backs, but that's another position group we'll talk about. But the bottom line is they got to get that figured out, man. They kind of got to go with the guys that show up and are ready, understand this is a moment, and they seize the moment. I'm talking about spring football. So I'll be interesting to see how they handle that. You remember last year at this time, Ryan Day, he confessed to this. They kind of smoothed in the spring, and he thought they lost something from that, and they kind of picked up the pace as spring went on, meaning smoothed into it. Maybe weren't as rugged as they should have been, maybe weren't as decisive as they should have been, and maybe paid a price for that from a developmental standpoint. I would think they're going to be coming out teeing off when they get the chance in the spring.
Yeah, I would too. And to your point, Tim, last year, we were talking about it all the way leading in. Again, the calendar was totally different last year going into this year. Like, you got knocked out of the playoffs on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Last year, 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to break that habit, right?
It wasn't really that many months ago.
Into the national championship season. I mean, your last game of the year was January 20th. So these guys had 3 more weeks that they were preparing for games at a very high level, and then a short break for winter workouts, and then getting ready for spring ball. And we talked about, Caleb Downs maybe throttling it back, Jeremiah Smith wanting to make sure that these guys had a semblance of an off season to get the rest and recovery they needed. Now you're looking at it saying, well, you got 3 additional weeks. Okay, it is time to ramp it up pretty much from practice 1.
As it turned out, in retrospect, though, those guys, you can let them rest. It was the offensive line, and defensive line that needed, because now you had a lot of new regulars on those 2 sides of the ball that needed as much what I call full speed acclimatization as they could get, and maybe they didn't get it. I think that's what Ryan was referring to. And that's just retrospect. I mean, he still made it to the playoffs and still made the Big Ten championship game. But in the final analysis, your weak link is what cost you. And that was the right side of the offensive line, especially at right guard. They never got that full answer they needed. And we can debate that all, we want, but that, when teams seize on you like Miami did, and just and really just physically, just like Indiana had given them a mental test, Miami gave them a physical test, and that was that. And they failed both of them, in my opinion, because if you don't win, it's a failing score. So, I'm just interested, but see if maybe some guys can rise, like Gabe Van Sickle. We were hearing his name at the end of the year last year. He played some and stuff. Josh Padilla. They've got some guys that can give them depth, and especially on that side of the line if they go that way, or Josh Padilla, at center, and maybe Carson Hinsman at guard. You can. There's all kinds of ways they can go, and I expect to see Tyler Bowen in this group, especially with Arthur Smith now running the offense. I expect to see them mixing and matching, and seeing mainly who's stepping up.
It was a huge impetus for this Ohio State team a couple of years ago to win the national championship. They were mixing and matching on the Ohio State offensive line, and it became a strength for them. This season, I feel like the Ohio State offensive line played together cohesive as a unit for most of the season. And then when you got towards the end of the year and you played Indiana and you played Miami, it became your weak link. So it was like...
It was their 2 best opponents.
It was, agreed with that, but it was like ships passing in the night, the way that they finished out their championship year and the way that they finished out this year.
Agreed,
on the
155%. Yeah. 155. I can't agree more than 155%.
What about 156?
And I know we're going to break here, but real quick. Obviously, we're all looking at the wide receiver group. I'm looking at tight end. Is Nate Roberts, who was a fullback last year. Is he going to be now the starting tight end? But Benny Christian, I mean, he's kind of paid his dues and stuff. They've got a nice group still in that tight end room, despite losing those 2 guys. But Chris Henry everybody's got your eye on him, but I've got my eye on Jerquaden Guilford, the kid, from Fort Wayne? Do I have that right?
I believe you do.
There's opportunity there, and Brandon Ennis, obviously, he and Jeremiah Smith give them a great core there, but they can mix and match those positions too, man. Everybody thinks, you come in and you're Chris Henry, you're Jeremiah Smith's understudy at basically split end, or, and that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. And same thing, because they moved Jeremiah Smith around on the field a lot last year also and stuff. So I'm really curious about that. And then the running back, this guy doesn't even come up. Since they've signed Legend Bay, it's like everybody's forgotten about Turbo Rogers. I'm interested to see about Turbo Rogers. Some people were surprised he didn't transfer. And I'm just going, the guy's super fast. He's
His
small.
name is Turbo.
He's small, but he's super fast. I mean, but Legend Bay, man, you turn on his video, there you go. And then the kid they got from the transfer wide receiver out of LSU.
Yeah.
He's from Peyton Pierce's high school.
Right?
Yeah, he's from Peyton Pierce's high school back in Texas, Lovejoy. But, of course, he came here with his coach, right? So
yes, he did.
I would keep an eye on him, definitely, because they've got to find that depth there, that credible depth where you can play 6 guys if you have to.
We've got the Combine happening in Indy next week. We're going to get into that and the latest mock drafts for the Buckeyes here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The nightmare of the cleared drain. Those drain clearing specials from the other guys seem like a great deal until you realize the only thing really going down your drain is your money. At the Waterworks, we mean clean. Our service doesn't just clear your drains, it cleans them too. It's done right the first time, so that nightmare of a drain becomes a dream come true. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call 614-232-2222 to get started.
It's Timmy Hall here, stepping in for the common man. You see, he decided to go to Italy when his Germain spot was due. Must be nice. You know what else is nice? Germain's month-long President's Day sale at all the locations listed at GoGermain.com. This month, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. On top of the $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a car for less. Nearly 4,000 vehicles, 30 brands, one website. You can only find the savings and that warranty at GoGermain.com. Hope you enjoyed your cured meats, common man.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5 each. Order your favorite $5 Pizza Pals from Donatos.com today. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donatos. Gotta love more.
This is Paul Keels for RV Wholesalers. Peace of mind. That's what you get when purchasing your next RV from RV Wholesalers. With every new RV purchase, Ohio residents receive the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. If your RV is in the shop, RV Wholesalers will give you a free loaner. Also with a Buckeye Service Guarantee, you'll receive free delivery in the state of Ohio and 3-day RV exchange. That's the exclusive Buckeye Service Guarantee. Only at RV Wholesalers in Lakeview, Mansfield, Delaware, and RVW.com. RV Wholesalers, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Are we drinking the scarlet and gray Kool-Aid? You bet we are. You're listening to the Buckeye Show.
Hey, now with our guy Tim May tonight, I want to let you know that we here on the Buckeye Show, sponsored by our good friends over at CareSource. We were just talking about offensive position groups and the most interesting, and Tim, you were just talking about the running backs position. Isaiah West out for the spring, Bo Jackson out for the spring. Going to lead to some big-time competition opportunities for Ohio State. Yep. You'd mentioned Legend Bay, Turbo Rogers, Jacoby Jackson. We'll see what happens with him if he's going to be fully healthy entering his 7th year. The transfer from Florida. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, though.
7 years.
Carlos Lachlan is going to have that room competing every day. I don't care if it's the acclimation period. I don't care if they have shoulder pads and full pads on, whatever it is. That room is going to be one of the most, if not the most competitive room in that Ohio State football locker room, because the way that guy talks and the way that he acts on his guys and his part of the team, that's a competition in just about everything that they do.
He shows no quarter. I mean, it's like kind of reminds me of when you get recruited by the Marine Corps and they're all nice to you. I remember when I went and had that interview.
Was he a cop, prison guard?
Yeah,
something.
No, he was a cop in Memphis.
That's right.
And he started working part-time or whatever, in high school, and he developed from there. But in Marine Corps, I went and actually went through a recruiting thing with the Marine Corps back when I was 18 in Lufkin, Texas. I was about 6'2", 155, and I wanted to put on weight, and this was near the end of the Vietnam War, and this guy was so nice, man. He was talking to us so nice, me and my buddy Ben Nard. And by the end, he started telling us how we were going to be carrying telephone poles on the beach and all this kind of stuff. And he just went through this, and I'm just sitting there going, I want to get bigger and stronger, but I don't want to be carrying telephone poles.
Carry the
beach.
Boats.
Yeah, right, whatever. Anyway, I opted not to join. Ben joined the Navy. But my point is, you get on the bus, kind of like Forrest Gump when he signed up. You get on the bus and they're screaming at you, just like in Stripes.
Remember the Titans, right?
Yeah.
Same situation.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's the point with Carlos Lachlan, man. He plays no favorite. He takes no quarter. I mean, he likes to be tight with his players, but when on the practice field or in the workouts or in the meeting room, he demands you know what you're doing. Yeah. And one of the things everybody demands, starting from Ryan Day on down in that group, is you better be proficient at pass protection as a running back, or that limits your availability. If that limits your availability, that limits how many times I'm even going to look at you, you know? And so that will be a major league course going on Pass Pro as much as anything else in the spring, especially with their top two guys missing.
And I think that's why C.J. Donaldson got so much run at the end of last year, because he was by far and away the best Pass Pro guy. Yeah. And then you go back and look at the last couple of years when Travion Henderson was here, his evolution into the pass protection player that he became from his first day at Ohio State to his last was night and day from
along with
when he
Quinshon.
came in. Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins, man, he's vicious. Just ask the Browns. I'm sure now they will rave about it. But yeah, that's part and parcel. But you know, we all know when it comes to running back, the guy that can make people miss, but can hit the hole, can show patience, can play above his level a little bit. But the main thing is let things be patient, let things develop in front of you in a fast way. You know. Yeah. Those are the guys that you end up winning with and running with, pardon the pun. And so that'll be interesting to watch that group as little as we get to watch them this spring.
Yeah, for sure, right? And getting into that second level and then making players miss and turning a 5-yard gain into a 10, 15, 20.
Yeah, but there's a way you can, you know, so the O-line, the old story is the O-line. It's the O-line's job to get you to the second level. But sometimes you can get there just by, you know, having a little bit of knowledge of what's going on in front of you in a split second, you know. That's
or some athleticism.
I thought Travion got really good at that. Quinshon got good. J.K. Dobbins was excellent at that, about seeing things and just making this one-half move here, you know, his famous jump cut, et.cetera. Eddie George was excellent at that. So was Keith Byers. So I'm not going to go through the litany of backs who've played at Ohio State in the time I've covered them. But the bottom line is the really good ones create some stuff on their own. You got to show you can do that, but you've also got to show you can do what they want you to do first.
For sure, right? And that includes pass protection and holding on to the football.
That's always the trick.
Holding on to the football, by the way, number one thing for running backs. If you want to get play time, if you're a young kid out there listening, or you're an aspiring athlete, maybe going into a varsity season or wanting to play in college, hold on to the rock. That's the number one thing.
That's the number one thing for anybody who touches it, by the way.
Yes, it is. For sure. You got to have that ball security. We got the Combine happening next week in Indianapolis. Are you heading over there?
You know, I don't think I've never been. I've never been to the Combine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising to me.
I know it's surprising to me too, but we had other guys as we got more involved in it. We had other guys who were covering pro football at the Dispatch, and then they morphed into like doing the Combine, which is fine with me and stuff. But you know, I just think it's. I really enjoy watching the workout session in the Woody Hayes because
the pro day.
Yeah, the pro day, and it'll be interesting this year. When the pros come to town, where they're like Julian's the quarterback throwing the ball, you know, to all these guys.
I would assume he would.
And you would think Jeremiah Smith might get out there this year. You know, like he opted not to last year, didn't want to create a stir.
As a true freshman.
No, but I mean, I really like Jeremiah Smith. Let's don't go down that road. I might gush.
Super hot take.
Everybody gushes on him, but he's the real deal, the genuine guy, and also he's a hell of a football player. But yeah, I'm curious. I mean, I think Cardinal Tate's going to, you know, if he's pretty healthy, is going to like turn some eyes, et cetera. And I really like this defensive group. And the thing about defense, man, I just, you know, I don't want to knock the Combine. I think the Combine is for finding not a diamond in the rough, because you don't get invited to the Combine unless an NFL team has put in your name, and it might be more than one, that they want to see you work out. But I just think Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese, man, they're interesting commodities in this upcoming draft.
They're going to test very well. And if there's one thing that NFL teams love, it is players who test well on the 40-yard dash and the cover
because that's
drill.
all they can brag about until the season starts.
Yeah, and then you turn on the film of those guys and you say, boy, they can play and they're athletic freaks as well.
My point is, turn on the video and you can see Arvell and Sonny making plays. Yeah, they figured out Arvell a little bit and some of Matt Patricia's maybe schemes with him as the season went on, but he still played extremely well. And Sonny, we watched him over 2.5 years, become a really great linebacker.
Yes.
And then you stack on top of that the fact he came here as a safety and has all those kind of capabilities from a physical standpoint. Yeah, it's going to be some exciting times for those dudes. And then, what's my man Caden McDonald got to do? He's got to show up in those little shoes he likes to wear, or one of his 7 or 8, 10 pairs of glasses.
Yeah.
He's a big dude that can run and make plays and turn on the video.
So I was reading this from, I believe this was Dan Hope of 11 Warriors. Make sure I got that right. Yeah, Dan Hope and Matt Guttridge over at 11 Warriors. And they do a good job every year, Tim, leading in to the draft. They take about 30 different mock drafts from different outlets, and they combine them all into one place. So here is kind of the consensus, the average draft projection for the Ohio State players. Again, we haven't gotten to like the 7-round mock drafts, but here are the first round projections. Arvell Reese, linebacker for the Buckeyes, as high as number 2, as low as number 7. So the average draft projection for Arvell Reese is 2.6.
So the big question is, can that many mock drafters be wrong? I mean, they've all got him going to the Jets, but what if the Jets trade out? We'll see.
They could. And again, Aaron Glenn kind of on the hot seat. I know it's only his second year there. It's a defensive-minded coach as well. So we'll see. Honestly, I was talking to Reimer about this a little bit earlier, and we'll get to Caleb Downs in just a second. But like, if you're a defensive coach and you want someone to be able to control that defense, I think Caleb, and this is no shot at Arvell, has a better chance at doing that at the next level than Arvell does. It's not that Arvell can't wreck a game, but maybe more so what Aaron Glenn wants to do defensively.
Barring injury, Caleb Downs is a 10-year player, minimum.
Yeah.
And he's going to help you every year, every play, every year.
Carnell Tate, his average draft projection 7.4, as high as number 3 to the Arizona Cardinals, where he would be teaming up with Marvin Harrison Jr., as low as number 16 to the New York Jets. 5 of these mock drafts have him going to the Cleveland Browns at number 6. Caleb Downs, as high as number 2 to the Jets, as low as number 16 to the New York to the Jets as well. I don't think Caleb's going to be there at number 16. Average draft projection to 8.1. Sonny, as high as number 4 to the Titans, as low as number 20 to the Cowboys. ADP of 12.1, and then our guy Caden McDonald, Tim, as high as number 17 to the Lions, as low as round number 2, the first pick going again to the New York Football Jets. His average draft projection being 24.1. So I think Ohio State is expecting 5 of these guys to go in the first round, 4 of them coming from the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, as I have to explain this every time I'm around somebody who's talking about the draft. This isn't picking your backyard team. No. This is like, yes, how good you are, and then how good you are based on what that team needs, and so that, especially the last half of the first round and stuff, just because you're on Mel Kiper's top 30 list or 20 list, or whomever's top 30 list. Jeremiah, what's his name? Daniel Jeremiah. Just because you're on his top 20 list doesn't mean you're going to go in the first round. I mean, that's just the way it is. But these guys, in my opinion, are all going to play a long time barring injury. I think they all have big upsides.
Unique skill sets, each one of them.
Yes. And then Carnell Tate's going to improve you from an offensive standpoint as the number 2 receiver maybe to begin with until he works his way into that number 1. But, dude, I just think about this, man, college football, you get them and you got them and they're gone.
I know.
Except not always. Like you said, we may have a 7-year player.
I think South Dakota State's got a guy who just got his 9th year of eligibility.
It's a weird time to be alive right now that you can spend well, you've always going to spend more time in college football in the NFL based on average.
Yeah.
What the average NFL
2.5 years.
2.7 years, 2.7 seasons I saw. That's not very long. And so, but yes, all of these guys have a chance to be longtime contributors in the National Football League.
Timmy had a chance to talk to hoops expert Jerry Palm the other day. We'll tell you what he and other bracket experts are saying about the Ohio State men's hoops team. Coming up next, it's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy Birmingham Berm from the Austin and Berm Show here on 97.1 The Fan. I hit maintenance after dropping 35 pounds on Awaken 180, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't feel different, because this is the first time in a long time I've actually reached a goal that I set for my physical health instead of just talking about one, thanks to Awaken 180. I'm under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years, and that's not a small thing. I didn't have to muscle my way there either. The Awaken 180 coaches walked me through it. Every adjustment, every tweak. They made it simple. Honestly, it was easier than I expected. This now feels like momentum. I'm in maintenance mode, and I'm not guessing. I can have pizza. I can have ice cream. All the things I used to love are back on my menu, but my metabolism is firing on all cylinders. The difference is my body doesn't crave it all the time. It was a mindset change and not a Band-Aid. That's the part that changes everything. If you've been circling the same goal for years, maybe you don't need more willpower. Maybe what you need is what I had, a plan, a coach, and a system that makes it easy. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Tom's Garage Doors. Tom's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
I started my first business at 12 years old, mowing lawns for about $5 a yard. I thought I was crushing it until my buddy down the street undercut me by $2. But he didn't just cut the price, he cut corners too. That's when I learned if you do the job right, people trust you, and integrity beats profit. People care more about how you show up and whether you do what you say you're going to do. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Doors. From garage door repairs to upgrades, we show up, we crush it, and we stand behind every job. We only use the best parts, and the spring's guaranteed to last a lifetime. Because when you care about the people you serve, you work harder, and it shows. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Doors today or schedule online at donsgaragedoors.com. And yeah, we still beat the other guy.
Tom's Garage Doors. Tom's Garage Doors. When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
Buckeye fans, this is for you. Level up with the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. You'll receive all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Ohio State sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and puts your fandom in drive.
Hey, Ohio State fans. Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the Scarlet and Gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The best damn radio show in the land. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight. Got our guy Tim May in with us. Coming up at the 7 o'clock hour, we get into the college football pulse, a.k.a. the college sports pulse. Darryn Peterson taking himself out of the game. All kinds of different stuff happening in college hoops. We got some news about Georgia football, which we'll get into coming up at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. We were just talking about the NFL mock draft, and we're leaving you with the quote-unquote first rounders for Ohio State. Let's get into the non-quote-unquote first rounders. Davison Igbinosun also. Tim's going to be drafted in this draft. Average draft projection of him at 61.4. Max Clare transferred from Purdue, 1 year at Ohio State. Between 62 and pick 100, average of 87.75.
That's about right.
Caden Curry, average draft projection of 136.5. I think that's rather low for Caden Curry at the next level.
Wait a minute. What does low mean? Meaning he should be higher?
I think
because I'm it's like the NCAA tournament. When you say low seed, high seed, what does that mean?
Yes, I don't mean.
I think Caden Curry has a hell of a motor. I think they would like to have seen a little more just pure production out of him.
Sure.
But I think he's one of those guys that can make a place for himself and be there for a while because, he never I don't think he ever reached totally his potential at Ohio State, but his potential is still high.
I agree with that. And again,
I sound like his agent, but that's true, man.
All it takes is one team, right?
True.
All it takes is one team to like you more than the rest.
I've told players forever since I've been covering Ohio State, when it comes to the NFL draft, don't worry about what the ranking is here and there. Yeah. It's up to you and really your agent to convince one team to take you. And if they do, you're now drafted. And you don't have to be a popular choice. You have to be a choice.
One choice.
Yeah.
Above the rest, all it takes is one. And then the last one mentioned in these mock drafts, tight end Will Kazmarek.
Yeah.
Round number 7, number 245 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Average draft projection of 245 for Will Kazmarek.
Wow. Yeah, I like him. I think he had some huge catches, man, for Ohio State, especially late in the year, if you remember correctly. But
absolutely.
He kind of got overshadowed from what you want to call it, a publicity standpoint and everything else by Max Clare coming in. But I think Will Kazmarek was quite up to the task, and I think he proved that on a few clutch catches, et cetera. But like Davis Nigbenosin, for example, I don't think he had a great Senior Bowl week, and I think it was a Senior Bowl. Just there were some times and he looked a little bit out of his element. I know he's getting coaching right now, man. You got to keep your hands off guys. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, that's all. It's going to follow him,
right? Exactly, and it should. I mean, you are what your video says you are at this point as a big time college football player because he has the gifts and the ability to just play without doing that.
Yeah,
some things become a crutch when you're a younger guy and you're trying to keep up and compete, and you can get rid of those as you get bigger, stronger, and faster. And that'll be the project with him. But I think he, like Ryan Day said, he brings excitement into any room he walks into.
He's
and
pretty fiery.
I like him a lot.
He is very fiery. So Davis Nigbenosin, an interesting one to watch out for. Again, the Combine happening in Indianapolis next week. Timmy had the chance to talk to Jerry Palm a little bit earlier in the week. What's he saying about this Buckeye team? Because we just saw in the midweek a couple of nights ago, Ohio State probably with their best win of the season, and I'm going to take the probably out of it, a demolition job of Wisconsin. They got out to a big lead. They never let Wisconsin make the run. You had probably the hottest backcourt, or if one of if not the hottest backcourt in America in Wisconsin. They scored 28 points combined on you. Their guards did. Bruce Thornton followed it up with 27 points.
Of his own.
Yeah, he got outscored by one by their dynamic backcourt. Defensively, they were very well connected. Amari Bynum is starting to really come along in his freshman season. Devin Royal had a terrific bounce-back performance, and all of this without the services of John Mobley Jr. So what did you think about the game the other night against Wisconsin, and what is Jerry Palm saying right now about the Buckeyes?
Yeah, we had an extensive conversation. I've known Jerry for 30 years, and great guy. He kind of, he and another guy kind of invented, the bracketology stuff and went from there. With that said, I mean, in a nutshell with Ohio State, his projections in or out they come out every Friday. So tomorrow you'll have whether it's in there or not. They're right on the edge right now.
Yeah, they are.
And they're right there with, like, for example, USC, who they've beaten. You know what I mean? And several other 400 teams, right?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, they had to have that game. They had to have that game on Tuesday night just to reestablish themselves as a viable commodity because, boy, the Virginia game was there for the taking.
Yes, it was. As well as the North Carolina game earlier in the season.
Bingo. I hope that Reimer, he just started crying again. But, yeah, and I asked him in that if they had, if in fact they had beaten North Carolina, and they're standing where they are now, but had beaten North Carolina, and what's the other quad one game that was a really good game? Anyway, where would they be in or not? He goes, well, you never know what's going to happen next. But based on that, that would definitely have helped them. And by that, I mean maybe a sure thing is being in. There's some teams that are already in, right?
Nebraska.
Yeah, as bonus, Rick, what the new coach for CBJ.
The Boneyard.
Yeah, the Boneyard would say they have that X by their name. They're in. But Ohio State's far from that. But, boy, look at the schedule. All they can do is help themselves. I think that, basically, I'm paraphrasing what Jerry said, but if this team can get to 20, 21 wins, and one of them be one of those quad 1 win possibilities, but boy, if you get 2, that really helps you big time. So everybody knows what has to happen.
And you've got some great opportunities coming up. Again, their schedule is Sunday.
Yeah.
They are on the road at Sparty, which just caused Mick Cronin to have a crash out the other night.
Yeah.
And then in the midweek next week, you are on the road again at Carver Hawkeye Arena, taking on another quad 1 opponent in Iowa. And then you're back at home next Sunday to take on Purdue.
Yeah.
It's a 3-game stretch. And I know that
nobody feels sorry for you either, because you know what? You put yourself in this position. If you win 2 of those, one of them would be on the road, would be huge.
Yes, absolutely, right? Like if you get through this stretch and you go 2 out of 3 in this stretch, going into those last couple of games against Penn State and Indiana, you're feeling really, really solid about your NCAA tournament chances. And that's not even taking into consideration, as of this point, of what you can do in the Big Ten tournament.
And one more small point. What I liked about Tuesday night, Bruce Thornton just said, we're not losing this game. He scored 3 in the first half and 24 in the second.
Yeah.
Became the third guy over 2,000 points. But my point was, your leader stepped up and said, we're not losing this game. No. We're not going to blow this lead like we've done how many times this season.
And they didn't even get close to it.
No.
I mean, Wisconsin never even gave you that punch.
Yes.
That you felt like, oh boy, here it comes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden the world's crashing in on you again. Oh no, it's happening to us again. What is going on? You never even got to that point because how effective
24-point second half is big.
Yeah.
Any place, anytime.
Ineffectively defensively you were.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's what's giving me confidence going into this 3-game stretch is like you haven't gotten over the hump in some of these big games against ranked opponents, and now they finally saw one go through for them.
Right.
And I feel like that can give them some confidence moving forward into this. Like, hey, we can win one of these big games in a tight spot down the stretch of the season. We know we can do this. Let's execute well down the stretch and get a quad 1 win to improve our tournament resume.
Sunday at Michigan State, going to be a fun one. Reimer and here I will be here for the warm-up show and for post game. We got just a crazy roller coaster season going on with one of the best basketball players in the country. We'll get into that in the Pulse coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvis weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, the Fan.
It's Timmy Hall here stepping in for the common man. You see, he decided to go to Italy when his Germain spot was due. Must be nice. You know what else is nice? Germain's month-long President's Day sale at all the locations listed at GoGermain.com. This month, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. On top of the $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a car for less. Nearly 4,000 vehicles, 30 brands, one website. You can only find the savings and that warranty at GoGermain.com. Hope you enjoyed your cured meats, common man.
Hey, Columbus, big news. For a limited time, get Uber One free for a full year so you could save on food and rides. That's a $96 value on us. Just use code Columbus. Get 1 year of $0 delivery fees, 10% off eligible food and grocery orders, and up to 6% Uber One credits on rides. Sign up for this limited time offer today using code Columbus and save big with Uber One. Offer valid through 3/31/26. Savings and $0 delivery fee on eligible orders and rides only. Fees and terms apply. See app for details.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Modern Office Methods, your authorized RICO dealer, can help your business optimize your print production with a competitive advantage. Our digital printing options will expand the type of paper and substrates from what your business can print on today. Add variable data capability, which allows for personalization of catalogs and mailers, and the ability for short-run label printing, which allows your business to print high volumes of custom labels quickly and on demand. Want to learn more? Start with a print assessment at momnet.com. Why risk it? You can count on Mom.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good evening, I'm Jacob Reimer. At the Winter Olympics, the women's hockey gold medal match went to the United States, a 2-1 win in overtime over Canada. Megan Keller put the game-winning goal in the back of the net. This is the United States' 9th gold medal at the Winter Olympics. The Americans trail only Norway in total medals, 34-27. The men's hockey semifinals is tomorrow. Team USA will take on Slovakia, and Canada squares off with Finland. The NBA resumes play from the All-Star break tonight with 10 games on the slate. The Cavaliers host the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Cleveland had won 5 in a row leading into the break. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. And in golf, first round at the Genesis Open Invitational is underway. Rory McIlroy is the early leader at 5 under par. Colin Morikawa is 1 shot back at 4 under. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union for the past 8 years in a row by CBUS Top Picks. Visit BMIFCU.org to learn more. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan.
Time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour number 2 of the program for us. Thanks for everybody for hanging out. Again, if you missed anything from the show this evening, you can always go back and listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcast from. Just type in the Buckeye Show. Or if you want to watch the show, you can always do so on the YouTube. Like and subscribe. Just type in 971 The Fan. And then you can watch everything all day long, live and local, with us.
That's why I wore my best cap.
I know. I
just
so Joshua Perry, who has been all week, he's been filling in for Common Man as he is over in Italy. Has been hanging out with Tim Hall this week. Every time I see Joshua, and maybe people will understand this, maybe they won't. I feel like when I leave the house, it's always usually like it's pretty cold in here in this studio.
Yes.
So I always grab like a hoodie, I grab a sweatshirt, I grab a jacket, something
Layers.
like that. I grab a layer.
Yeah.
And so I'm not really paying attention to the layer that I'm grabbing. So sometimes in a span of 3 days, I'll wear the same sweatshirt twice, or I'll wear the same jacket twice just because I don't even think about it. And then I get in here and I'm like, oh yeah, if people are watching, which again, thanks to our YouTube watchers and commenters, sometimes they'll say something. Joshua Perry was Mr. Fashion Police this week, and I made sure not to grab an extra layer here. One, it was so nice out today, I don't feel like I needed it. But two, I got self-conscious because I was going to grab the rain jacket, knowing that it was going to rain tonight. But in the back of my mind, I said, I know I wore this yesterday. The first thing Joshua Perry's going to say to me when he sees me is, didn't you wear that same coat yesterday? So I abstained from grabbing anything.
So you basically, in your mind, wear a WWJW wristband. What would Joshua wear?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's too bad. Although Joshua's always been a sharp dresser. I mean, I give it up to him on that, and along with being a smart guy and everything else.
Absolutely, right.
But he's right. I mean, I was in here, dude, though. Before Christmas, when I was filling in for everybody who had all this PTO, y'all have more PTO than the PTA.
We got grandfathered in with our PTO,
but crazy. But I actually wore my winter coat in here one day. It was so, they were wanting to know if they could hang meat over in that corner, because it was the season. It was the season to be fat. But you never know. And so, to be honest with you, I think being comfortable is the most important thing. No matter what would Joshua wear?
I know. I got self-conscious walking out of the house today, and I said, you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm not even thinking about. It doesn't even cross my mind when I grab a hoodie or anything out of the closet to come in here. But yeah, to your point, with how cold it was. So when Ohio State was playing in the national championship game that night against Notre Dame, we were on doing the post-game show. We were on till probably 2:30 in the morning.
So you got hoarse, right? And had to go home.
Well, I didn't go home that night because at that point we had the morning show, so I had to be back on at 6 a.m. I slept right under where you are at right now.
Wow.
It was the coldest I've ever been in my life. I had my winter coat on. I had a beanie on. I had boots on. Couldn't get comfortable. There's a couch out here in our office. Didn't know how to turn the lights off. I'm like, well, there's no way. As I'm getting ready to go to bed, I see Shark walking in for his update shift. I'm like, what's the point of even trying this?
You need to watch Outdoor Boys on YouTube every now and then, just so you can learn how to build a shelter.
I know, I need
that can keep you warm when it's sub-freezing.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he's back a little bit now, but that's one of my favorite things to watch.
That and Bryson.
I watch everything Bryson does on the YouTube, along with Grant Horvat, and occasionally the Good Goods. But I'm not a real Good Boys fan.
I don't really know anything about
anyway,
that.
I mean, I like watching that kind of golf, man. When you got YouTubers playing each other's like. Fat Perez, who isn't as fat as he used to be, and all those guys will get together. Bob, who's become a good driver. It's one of those things. Fat Perez has lost weight now, so it's kind of like the Jonah Hill thing. Is he going to lose his panache because now he's not the guy you quote fell in love with end quote.
As long as he can still beat around a golf ball across the yard, he'll be fine.
Yeah, it's crazy. I watch. You can learn a lot from watching YouTube as long as it's not that made up stuff.
Yes, that is correct. And we're not made up. Again, you can watch the show, like and subscribe to our channel. We're live and local all day, every day. Reimer, fill us in on what is going on with the curious case of the best college basketball player this season, but also a guy who is unavailable for like half of Kansas's games.
I was going to mention Saturday night, I was wearing my hoodie with my heavy jacket, but that's for a whole nother reason.
Yeah, you didn't have a great Saturday night, big dog.
Who's he hiding from?
He wasn't I think he was hiding from his stomach. He yacked all over.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't need to go there.
Anyways, Darryn Peterson, he is one of the best basketball players in the country in college basketball, and he's only played half the games, and honestly, maybe only half of those games. And last night, it was another case of that against Oklahoma State. He had 20 points in the first half, made a 2.5 minutes into the game to get him 23 in 18 minutes, and then he looks at Bill Self and is like, hey, I need out. So he comes out, don't see him the rest of the game.
Yeah, you said you meant 2.5 minutes into the second half.
Yes.
Yeah, you said the game. Yeah, exactly.
Second half, yes.
When you said you made the three.
Well, he had 20-some points, didn't he?
Yeah. 23 points in 18 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, and he had enough.
Well, Bill Self was asked about that after the game, so here's his comments here.
You guys have kind of had this a couple of times now where Darryn has a really strong first half and then isn't able to go the rest of the game. Just how have you sort of navigated that, and what challenges does that maybe present?
Well, we've had it more than a couple of times, and I didn't anticipate that tonight at all. I thought he was good to go, but obviously we only got 18 minutes out of him. That's disappointing because he could have had a really big night. But one thing about it is it's happened often enough that our guys have learned to play without him, even though that's not the way we want to play. But that's certainly something that we're not unaccustomed to right now.
What do you do with that as a coach?
I don't know what you do. I mean,
he's the best player. He's when he plays a full 40 minutes or 35 minutes, whatever it is, in his rotation. I mean, I don't know if there's an argument that he's not the best player.
I think per 40 minutes, he's averaging 30 points a game.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's terrific when he's available and he's good to go. And the weird thing is this is like an every other, if not an every night kind of a thing for him, Tim. As a coach, I mean, you're Bill Self. You're a national champion coach. You're a coach of the year. You're in charge of one of the biggest, baddest blue bloods on planet Earth in Kansas, and you're always seed 1 to 3 in the NCAA tournament with an expectation to get to the Final Four. You've got one of the better players that you've had in recent history who is checking himself out of the games. I don't know how you handle that as a coach.
How do you know?
Do you sit him?
How do you know what's legit? And if that's legit, I would tell him, okay, well, we're going to play you in the second half from now on.
You're going to bench you in the first half.
We're going to let you keep your everything, because the bet thing is the rumor, whatever you want to call it, is he's basically tapping out and sandbagging and
it's load management.
Doing his thing. Yeah. I don't know if it's load management. I don't know what you would call
How
it.
can you have load management in a 30-game season?
The underlying scuttlebutt is the guy's he's gold bricking. I mean, meaning he's getting his, so to speak, or getting some time and then opting not to play the rest. Now, how could this guy also be projected as being one of the top picks in the lottery if, in fact, he can't even play full college basketball games on a consistent basis? I mean, see, I would be thinking if I'm the NBA and I'm looking at this guy, I'm going, what am I getting here?
Well, of course.
And if I'm his agent, which you're allowed to have in college basketball anymore, I'm telling him, hey, this is what they're thinking. You're blowing it, kid. I mean, somebody's got to sit him down and go, is this legit? If this is legit, we got a major problem here from a cramping situation and whatever. He had sprained ankle earlier this year that
sick, couple
but
of
he
games
was able
ago.
to bounce back from, and so you gotta. But some guys are just made different from a motivational standpoint, and I've run into some of those guys. You have too in your life that the effort for the group, they don't care about the group. That's what this is.
Yeah, it's one of the wilder scenarios because when he came onto the scene this year, I mean, he was just barnstorming.
Everyone loved or was looking forward to that BYU-Kansas game where it was the Bansa versus Peterson, 1 versus 2, the projected top 2 picks.
Correct.
And he comes out guns a-blazing and is not missing a shot and has one of the greatest first halves of basketball I've ever seen in my life. And then doesn't play at all in the second half.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the question then becomes with Bill Self, and I think you heard it right there in his answer. We've become accustomed to this.
Bill Self's laying some what I'm talking about.
Of course he
as
is.
He's giving those quotes.
As he has to. He needs to.
He's been sticking up for him for the longest time, and now it's like, I mean,
but
what
now,
are we supposed to do?
But now, I would say, young man, boy, if we're having this problem, why don't you just sit out the next 3 games and we'll see what's up.
Yeah, of course.
You know
and
what I
also,
mean?
too, Tim, you've covered sports for a long, long time. If there's one thing that you cannot fool, it is a locker room.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
and so if Darryn Peterson is on the outs now in that locker room, and it wouldn't be the first time and it's not going to be the last time where a player is on the outs with his teammates, and Bill Self feels like if it's in the best nature for Kansas basketball, which is his job at the end of the day, is to get Kansas basketball as far and as high as they possibly can go in the NCAA tournament. And if the nuclear option is to bench Darryn Peterson, then guess what Bill Self is going to do? Bill Self will bench Darryn Peterson if it gets to a point where his players know if Darryn Peterson is on the court playing for us, the rest of those guys aren't giving effort. He will do that.
You have to get his attention and make sure you've gotten his attention. Make it a fair situation, and then when you've got his attention, it happens again. Then you resort to other measures. But it's kind of like. It's like he helps them get up the mountain. It's like they're climbing a mountain. He gets them way up the mountain, and then he goes, okay, you guys carry me the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what...
I thought Sherpas carried us all the way up.
One of those chairs, like, in Persia or something. And it's too bad, man. Because
he's a hell of a player. It's fun to watch.
He'll go off. Next time he plays, he'll go off, play all night, and score 90.
Yeah, he probably will.
Which is what Bill Self was alluding to.
Of course
also.
it was, yeah.
Who's the kid that scored 49 last night, though? I guess
that was Darius Acuff.
Yeah.
Played all 50 minutes of the double overtime game.
Yeah, and got beat.
Yeah.
By Arkansas.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Is that why you were wearing your Arkansas shirt this morning in your video?
Yeah, because shout out Darius Acuff. That was a special performance.
It was.
And then the freshman class is ridiculous. I think that's like the 5th 40-plus point game from a freshman this year.
And then you had John Calipari a month ago saying, I don't know why anyone recruits freshmen. Anyone out of high school. I'm the only one doing it in college basketball now. Right? Everyone else is recruiting 25, 26-year-olds.
But the right one can take you places, baby.
And the right ones are taking Arkansas places right now.
Well,
Amen.
I think Darius Acuff was in a walking boot 2 days ago. And Calipari asked him, are you going to be able to go? And he was like, yeah. So like that's look at that compared to Darryn Peterson.
Yeah.
The antithesis.
Yeah.
Of Darryn Peterson.
Caleb Wilson's out with a wrist injury, and he is working his tail off to try to get back before the end of the regular season.
Some people are just built different.
John Mobley Jr., too.
I know he is. We'll see what happens with him. We'll be interested
I don't know if they're built different. They're mentally Their mental makeup is different.
Yes, it is. We'll see what happens with John Mobley Jr. leading into Sunday's game at Sparty as well. Jake Diebler, I believe, has some media availability tomorrow afternoon. So we'll get a clear answer if he's going to be ready or not about 1 o'clock tomorrow. We did offensive position groups in the first hour. We're going to get to the most interesting defensive position groups coming up here next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Right now, 3-pound packages of 80% lean Kroger brand ground beef are only $4.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the Fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app. TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination.
Hosting a passionate crew of Buckeye fans? Revamp your rec room for an epic watch party with power reclining sofas, massaging recliners, entertainment centers, and coffee tables from Bob's. They even have sofas with drop-down tables for snacks and bevs. Shop in-store or online to score big on an incredible game day setup at Bob's everyday low prices. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Watch for some rain and a couple of strong thunderstorms through tonight across central Ohio. Then skies will clear on Friday with a lot of sunshine taking over, but it is going to be gusty with some gusts of 30, 40 miles per hour at times, highs in the middle 50s. Saturday's looking good, just going to be colder with middle 40s, and then believe it or not, we could see some snow showers on Sunday with highs locked into the 30s. That is your 97.1 The Fan weather forecast. I'm 10 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Chris Tomer.
Ryan Day's favorite radio show. Probably. Maybe. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with our friend Tim May tonight. Want to let you know that we here on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our great friends over at CareSource. Tim, we did the offensive position groups. As far as interesting standpoints, again, you can go back and listen to the podcast, watch the YouTube show after we're done. If you missed that in the first hour, defensively.
But wait a minute, if they do that, be kind when you rewind.
Yes, please be kind. Be kind, rewind. Great movie as well. When you look at this defensive position group, and I know that we started off the show talking about who is it going to be tougher to replace, Cade McDonald or Caleb Downs, and I think there are arguments to be made on both sides, and that is something that Matt Patricia and the Ohio State defensive coaching staff are dealing with in real life. So when it comes to position groups that you're interested to see defensively as we get into spring ball, your interest being piqued, what's one that stands out above the rest right now for you?
Well, I like what they did. Right. I'm not going to do an Austin Ward and name 50 guys.
He's on with me tomorrow. We'll do that tomorrow.
He used to drive me crazy. He'd be on my podcast and blah, blah, blah. And I just go, okay, listen, you got 30 seconds. Give me whatever. No, I love Austin. I don't know if he likes me anymore, but I like him. And Liberty, man. She's a golfer.
Liberty Bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity. There you go. I think they've got quality guys in the defensive line. It helps big time that Kenyatta Jackson is back. I really like what he brings because I thought he was really came into his own the last half of last season.
Yes, he did.
And became a terror on occasion. And so much so that Indiana had to literally tackle him to keep him from getting to their quarterback.
Is that going to change this year?
Fernando Mendoza.
Over under 2.5 holding penalties that's going to be called on Ohio State's opponents in 2026.
I don't think it's going to be under probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Just based on history, right? What would change it? What has come along the way to change it? But and I get these guys' names mixed up in my head, but James Smith and John Walker, the guys they got, the defensive tackles they got in the portal, I mean, I really like both of these guys. If you turn on the video and watch them, where they're from, if you turn on the video and watch them get after it, I really like that aspect to it. I don't think they have a Caden McDonald, in that whole group yet.
Hard guy to reproduce.
Yes, it is. But like, Ty Hamilton, the way he came on and things like that, you never know who's finally going to step. Will Smith Jr., I thought, made strides last year big time. But I always look at a defense. I start from the inside out, man. The hand grenade has to have the gunpowder, to explode. And so I look there. I think they helped themselves based on what they've lost. I thought they helped themselves defensively by going out and getting those guys.
Yeah.
You follow me? And then the tag-along guy, Kwa Russaw from Alabama.
Not a bad guy, freaky athlete.
Not a bad tag team there. Both from Montgomery. Both those guys are from Montgomery, and happens to be Carlos Laughlin's from Montgomery. You know what I mean? There's a lot of tie-ins there and stuff. But I like him to at least add some competition on the edge rushing aspect of things. But
I do too.
Defensive tackle is where I'm looking. I always look there first and then move on from there.
Where's Nick's in the Sticks at? Is that Tuscaloosa?
Who?
The Tuscaloosa thing? Nick, come on. I thought if I was going to mention a hole-in-the-wall restaurant down somewhere in Alabama.
Never heard of that. Nick's in the Sticks.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking at it right here. Nick's Original Filet House.
Yeah, how long's it been there?
I don't know.
It may be original, but maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, I think it's pretty original.
But why did it come up?
No, I was just thinking about it because you said Montgomery,
like
and
Dreamland,
I thought it was in Montgomery. I've been to Dreamland, too. Very good.
Dreamland Barbecue. The original. Have you been to the original up on the south side of Tuscaloosa? Bear Bryant used to go there there about once a week.
We stayed somewhere. I think we stayed in Mobile, maybe. I forget what we were doing.
And
maybe driving down.
Off I-65.
We were driving down to New Orleans, I think, Meredith and I, for spring break when we were in college. And I think our halfway point, we just wanted to stay the night somewhere, and we stayed in Mobile, and we made sure that we hit the Dreamland Barbecue.
Yeah. Well, Dreamland Barbecue in Tuscaloosa, the original, man, is it's because they have a very limited menu, based compared to the ones that have become the franchises. They have extensive menus. But
I think I went to a franchise.
Yeah. I think I was asking Caleb Downs how many times he went to Dreamland. I don't think he ever acknowledged he even knew what I was talking about. So, these guys have training tables and stuff now they deal with.
Do.
But yeah, starting there. But then moving on, obviously, they helped themselves at cornerback both in the signing day and in the transfer portal. But you really like Devin Sanchez. He's had his baptism. Now he gets to go. What's the analogy there? He's had his baptism. Now he can go up on the pulpit and preach a little bit. Maybe. I mean, I'm really think the cornerback thing with Jermaine Matthews back. That was a good move by Jermaine Matthews, by the way. I think that's a good looking situation. But the Terry
Devin
Moore
got a lot of play time at the end of last season.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I mean, he got better, but he was a 5-star. He was, from North Shore, Galena Park, North Shore. That's one of the biggest timest high school football programs you can find anywhere. On the east side of Houston. But then Terry Moore, the kid that transferred from Duke is intriguing to me. Because I think the word on him, he is cerebral. He's got a lot of that going for him. When you're replacing Caleb Downs, you got to have a guy that people look to have the answers in the middle of the fire, and that's what everybody liked about Caleb Downs. He had those answers 9 times out of 10, probably 19 times out of 20. But just how that's going to work, whether Jalen McClain might do some shifting around and make him that guy. I think we're going to see so much experimenting going on in the spring and maybe even early in the fall, in August. That's not fall. Don't mistake it for fall.
Late summer. We're closing in on the fall.
But just to get things ironed out there, because I think from a talent-wise, I don't think you're hearing Matt Patricia say they don't have the talent.
No.
I mean, he's not going
I don't think he would stick around if he didn't think that they had the talent.
Number
I think
one,
he would probably be back in the NFL.
Yeah, number one. And number two, they've got players, but I'm really curious about the positions we talked about yesterday or 2 days ago when I was here from a linebacker situation. They've got talent there, man.
Yes, they do.
I mean.
And you're losing a lot with Sonny and Arvell, but you have a bevy of options behind those guys.
Some of it's unproven, but like Sincere Johnson, I mean that guy's a big time prospect. Mm-hmm. But Peyton Pierce, and then of course I told you my favorite, Riley Pettijohn. It sounds like a football player, right?
Yeah,
like Richie Pettibone.
T.J. Alford sounds like a football player.
Yeah, exactly. T.J. Alford sounds definitely like a football player. So they got Coach Laurinaitis. I mean, going into that. He's showing his depth in terms of getting it done, both from a recruiting standpoint and from a coaching standpoint. So that's going to be a group you're going to see make some mistakes, though, early in the season. Their baptism will come, of course, at the University of Texas. They'll probably make that a noon start.
No way.
I know. I'm just all
no chance.
Remember when Texas played Alabama there back in early September a couple of years ago, and it was 101?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants that.
That's what we got this year.
It was an 11 a.m. start, noon start for us, time-wise. Yeah, it was much worse the next week. This year, it was in the 70s,
Yeah, it was quite breezy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a nice day for that Texas game. But I'm telling you, in Austin, it ain't going to be that way.
It's probably that now.
Second week of September.
It's probably 70 degrees now down there.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to that, I mean, you gotta really figure some things out in the spring. But I think they played more guys than you gave them credit for last year, I think, defensively, and it's going to pay off for them to a certain extent. I'm not sure any of the defensive linemen coming back who were on the roster last year should be considered much better. I'm talking about defensive tackle area than journeyman. As in they can get you there. They can help get you there.
It's fair assessment.
I think that's fair based on what we've seen so far. But like I said, Ty Hamilton, journeyman until the last year and a half of his season of his career, and he took off. Caden McDonald, Cade McDonald was the nicest guy you're ever going to meet. But then all of a sudden he became one of the meanest dudes on the street.
Can still be one of the nicest dudes that you're going to meet, but also when he puts those pads on during a game day, he's nasty.
Different dude, and he's a guy that's huge and a bully and on the football field and likes it.
Yeah,
likes playing that role in this version of the Christmas Story.
I believe our friend Mike Bennett calls that a soul snatcher.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, he said, I want to embarrass you in front of your family.
Yeah.
I want them to be embarrassed that you're related to them.
Forget about stats. I want souls.
And you know Mike, he's the nicest guy in the world. Put that helmet on, man. It's a whole different
Have you seen the movie Sinners? Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
Michael B. Jordan
movie. Is it on HBO?
Where he plays twins. But yeah, it's not about tackles. I'm just making this up. If he was, it would be about souls.
We have an Ohio State medal extravaganza happening over at the Olympics. We'll get into that coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
It's Timmy Hall here, stepping in for the common man. You see, he decided to go to Italy when his Germain spot was due. Must be nice. You know what else is nice? Germain's month-long President's Day sale at all the locations listed at GoGermain.com. This month, all qualified pre-owned vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty. On top of the $1,000 price promise, no one will sell you a car for less. Nearly 4,000 vehicles, 30 brands, one website. You can only find the savings and that warranty at GoGermain.com. Hope you enjoyed your cured meats, common man.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend this show. The other dentist is a Michigan fan. Yuck! You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hey, now, all right, Tim May here this evening. By the way, Reimer just said in my ear, 77 degrees currently in Austin, Texas.
There you go. I was down there for 5 days before they played Ohio State for the first time in history. In 2005, went down to do, because I was from Texas, and it was 100.
Lufkin, Texas.
Lufkin, Texas, over in East Texas, where it's about 4 degrees warmer or cooler. Well, warmer, really.
What is that geographically, Tim? Because I know that Texas has a lot of different geographical features. Is that like, are you in the pine trees? Or is it behind the pine curtain? You've
been to Pinehurst, right?
I have.
North Carolina. It's just like that.
Okay.
I mean, there are little sand hills and stuff, and you kind of get in these little rolling hills as you go farther into northeast Texas. I mean, it's pine trees all the way, halfway to Waco, almost all the way to College Station, and then you can literally, it's a line of where the pine trees quit growing, at least in groups, and becomes more of like Midwest prairie like you see up in Nebraska or whatever. But it's definite regions. But it's pretty cool. But it was 102 every day in the shade, and they had a little bubble. Now, we didn't get to watch practice. They had a little bubble they worked out in. And they tried to work out every morning, I think, at like 7:30.
You're saying Texas did?
Texas did, yeah. This is when Vince Young was on there and stuff. And but, yeah, I just go, Tim, this is why you moved away. And you stayed away because I moved to a place that has 4 seasons. I'm talking about Columbus, Ohio area. Now, of course, that changed over the last many years, but I think we might be back to it.
I think we are back
for 1
to
year.
It. We've at least had it this year.
Yeah. I mean, February can't get out of here soon enough, right? The worst month ever invented.
It's gray, it's cold, and you got a 65-degree day today, though, so we'll take it.
At least all the dirty slush is pretty much melted and gone away from the side. Yeah.
That's all on my dog's stomach from the walk today. It's just kicking up slop.
In those many days when a lot of you people are city dwellers didn't have a place to walk your dog, that must have been. I went out with my snowblower and actually cleared a place in my front yard and my backyard because I got a big yard. We got 4.5 acres. And just so my dog, he didn't want to go in the snow, but he's
That's what I had to do. That's what I had to do for Theo when it snowed that much. I had to shovel the whole driveway, the sidewalk, the back steps, the whole thing. And then I had to dig out, probably a little 8x8 area for him where he could get out and do his business. And then Willie would come outside every time. And because, there would still be a little bit of snow on the ground and probably, 20 different dog poops there.
Oh, yeah.
And he would walk out the door and goes, "That's Theo's poop." I'm
That's right.
You are right. And Dad has been slacking and hasn't gotten around to picking it up yet.
Does he take him to the recycling place? Well, I don't want to get into that conversation they had on the previous show. Anyway, but I digress. Bottom line is, and we talked. I had Kieran Kumar and Justin Haynes, the baseball and softball coaches for Ohio State, not respectively. Flip that, but the bottom line, I had him on, about talking about weather this time of the year. Where I grew up, you can play baseball in January, and up here, when I was talking to him, it was like more than a foot of snow on the ground up here, and they hadn't been outside except maybe a long throw in the parking lots or something, and that is a luxury and an advantage, obviously, to the teams in the NCAA who play baseball, northern teams versus southern teams.
It is nice how the last couple of years they've gotten away from starting the season here.
Yeah.
And they're scattering all over the country and going to play in warm weather states. Yes, absolutely. They should. I mean, spring training is coming up in Major League Baseball. Get out of here while you can. I mean, my wife is a former, high school and middle school softball coach. And by the way, by the time that the snow melts, you're still not able to play on 95% of these ballparks because you're waterlogged for the next month and a half.
Unless you've got artificial turf.
Yeah.
And that artificial, whatever it is, they slide on.
Yeah, I think so.
That still seems like a little bit of a, remember when they put in those tartan basketball floors? You're not long, because those are long gone because they were stupid.
I don't even know what that is.
They were stupid. They were literally artificial basketball floors as opposed to wood floors, and
it's not like the glass court that's going to be at the Big 12 tournament this year.
Probably. I mean, there's probably some connection there in terms of from a retro deal.
But Darryn Peterson's playing on that.
But a lot of people got. I don't know if they had too much traction or whatever, but most people finally got rid of those things because they were ugly. And
we had these growing up.
Yeah.
Those kind of composite rubber courts.
Things. But the grip on them is, like when they first brought AstroTurf around, the grip was too much.
And also would just
Woody Hayes,
the worst burn in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were being slammed onto concrete.
But Woody Hayes, Bear Bryant, some of those other coaches got into watering the fields. They're artificial turf fields before a practice or a game, so they'd have a little bit of give to them. Because it was crap. That's the lawsuit I've never understood that hasn't happened. When you think about
big turf,
when you think about CTE, and you think about all these things that people have come around. I mean, the Houston Oilers used to play on the worst artificial turf field in the Astrodome because it was they would roll it in and roll it out after they moved the stands, and they'd have gaps in the seams that were like this, and the guys would catch their foot but they'd go up high and catch a pass and land on their helmet. I'm just going.
Yeah, because it's not thick. I mean, AstroTurf was.
AstroTurf, when you first put it down, the old one, you had a real nice pad on it, and then you had the AstroTurf on top of it, but that pad would get
shrunk
down. It wasn't memory foam.
No, it wasn't at all.
It would be memory foam is in, remember how cushy that used to be?
Yeah, and now that I'm being slammed on my head over and over.
Yeah, everybody was looking for the next best thing, and I think the the stuff they play on now is pretty decent.
I think it's other than in MetLife Stadium. That's the worst field in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, even University of Phoenix Stadium, or wherever it's called out in Glendale now. I mean, a lot of people gripe about it because the turf is on platters, and I think 9-yard by 9-yard platters. Square.
But isn't that grass?
It's grass,
and they grow it outside, and
they can roll the whole field outside, but they also have because parts of the field get worn out faster than other parts, and parts is parts. But the bottom line is they can replace the platters, and stuff. And a lot of people have not. I know some of the Buckeyes have not liked that field when they've played on it in the past, and a lot of the pros don't like it. But it is still grass. My big line about that is nothing beats a great grass field.
Yeah.
And nothing's worse than a crappy grass field.
Well, just ask the fine folks at Northwestern how much that they feel like they have an advantage growing their grass out to their specs.
Correct.
If you don't, maybe it's a conspiracy theory. If you don't think that Northwestern grows their grass longer than any other college football program in America,
here's all you had to do.
You're crazy, because it is, and it slows the game down to Northwestern's tempo.
Here's all you had to do was go up there and watch it when they were taking the cows off of it, before the visiting teams walked.
That's how they cut it.
Exactly.
They got cows and some sheep out there.
Sheep pull the grass up by the roots. You want cows out there.
Yeah, the agriculture department there was really helping the Northwestern football team.
But the bottom line, I mean, you played football, right? In the street. We used to play in the street when our yards were messy.
I mean, I'd have bruises all over the place.
My big brother Ben, brother Ben would die for passes in the street. Mm-hmm. I mean, you football players are a different ilk. I was always a quarterback because I didn't like to get hit.
That makes sense.
But I mean, you could play football on anything and anywhere. But when it's all organized and people are making a lot of money on it, you feel like you ought to play on the most pristine sort of conditions you can. But that still doesn't mean that the turf is going to be to everybody's liking.
Tim, did you watch?
Why did we get on that?
I don't remember. But you know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how we got there. We got on there. We're going to get off of it right now. I know that you watched the gold medal match today in the women's ice hockey final over in Milan. What a game that was.
Yes.
I mean, Canada had the lead for a good amount of the time. The U.S. pulled their goalie.
Yeah, they had the lead up until 2 minutes were left.
Yeah, up until they didn't. I think it was 2 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever it was until the U.S. scored. It goes into overtime. They have the break. They got the intermission. And then you're into 3-on-3 time. And every time up and down the ice, it feels like either team is going to score. The U.S. ultimately wins, and you've got 3 Ohio State former and current players winning golds for the U.S. Former Buckeyes, Caleb Barnes, Hannah Bilka, Joy Dunn, current Buckeye.
Correct.
Winning a gold medal. And then you also had 4 for Canada winning a silver medal, and then 1 for Sweden winning the bronze. So it was quite the showcase for the Ohio State women's ice hockey program as we got into really the deep part of these Olympics.
I retweeted a picture. I don't know if it was taken by Ohio State folks, because I think they do a hell of a job, by the way, in that department. That whole visual department of promoting their sports. But they had Nadine Muzzerall was there at the game.
She took a picture with Jason Kelsey today.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, she should be there. I mean, are you kidding me? What Ohio State, what a tour de force. But yeah, then I tweeted a picture. I did a screenshot of Joy Dunn getting her medal. I mean, that's just a moment, man. Imagine you're standing there, and it was so unbelievable. Switzerland was so happy to get their bronze medals. Mm-hmm.
Switzerland,
Canada,
not Sweden. Sorry, got them.
Switzerland was so happy. Canada would have, as they put them on the Canadian girls' necks, they would have just soon gotten it by UPS of their medal.
Let's get out of here.
And then the American team with whatever. But that goal the goal that tied it was just a seeing eye dog that got through there, got an assist through the middle, but just a rocket shot, right? You saw it. And
it's terrific.
That's what gets you to overtime. That's what hockey's all about. You've got all your bases covered. Uh-oh.
No, you don't. It was the same thing that happened to the men's the other day against Sweden.
Correct.
Right? I mean, all of a sudden, you're feeling really good about it. You got a 1-goal lead, and then they score, and you say to yourselves, we're now in a dogfight.
That's why I could not be a hockey coach, because you got everything figured out, and then
until you don't.
until that happens. That makes no sense. The chaos theory. And they do play by the chaos theory. Throw it up there and see what happens, right?
Sure.
But that's got to be tough for Canada, man, the way that game, they had the game in hand and blew it.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what happens. Men's semifinals tomorrow.
But what a breakaway goal there at the end. I mean,
it was just
terrific. It was like
terrific.
watching football.
It was so good.
Long pass
And
down the sidelines.
You know what's crazy,
Puts a move
Tim?
on the safety.
Here in 2 years' time, when the Olympics come here to the United States, that we're going to have flag football, and it'll be interesting to see how many Buckeyes are going to be on that flag football team. I think there's a case to be made for maybe Jeremiah Smith as a starting receiver on that team.
How are they going to handle that?
I don't know. Actually, you know what? Let's pause.
Yeah,
we'll come back because that was a bigger question than I intended it to be. We'll do that.
But when you start thinking it, it's like an atomic bomb going off.
There's
in your head.
a lot going on. We'll do that at hashtag Buckeyes next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Do you want free internet forever? Yeah, we thought so. That's why Spectrum is giving you just that. Free fiber-powered internet forever when you switch and get 4 mobile lines from Spectrum. No internet bills, no taxes, no late fees. Just fast fiber-powered internet. Call 833-901-0178 to find out how. But hurry, this deal won't last forever. Once more, 833-901-0178. Or visit spectrum.com/free forever to learn more.
Got this. Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
At ADP, we know you want your landscape business to succeed, but we don't know anything about landscaping. ADP only knows how to handle the business of your small business. So if ADP focuses on the payroll and the HR, while you focus on the land and the scaping, success should follow. Just don't expect us to know all about Kentucky bluegrass, zero-turn cutting, or what to do with a woodchuck. That's for you to figure out. Let ADP help your small business focus on the part of the business you're good at. ADP for small business.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5 each. Order your favorite $5 Pizza Pals from Donatos.com today. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donatos. Gotta love more.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, the Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Paul Keels here, voice of the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeyes sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off gear at the Ohio State team shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeye MVP membership upgrade for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to join the squad and put your fandom in drive. Buckeye Nation, join us on April 12th at the 2026 Ohio State 4-Miler, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down a tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. You can also get access to the home locker room and meet some of your favorite Buckeye student athletes. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateformiler.com. Go Bucks!
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
Sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Thanks, everyone, for hanging out again with us tonight. Coming up at 8 o'clock. Got baseball on the horizon.
Wow.
Feeling good about that. Got the Reds hot stove coming up at 8 o'clock. Today's fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Are you excited for MLB spring training to get underway? Yes, can't wait. We'll be on opening day. Don't care. I'll tell you one thing, be very honest with you. Not there mentally. I'm not there mentally for Major League Baseball.
Didn't the World Series just happen?
Yeah, it seems like it did.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, as a little kid, I used to like spring training. I used to like keep up with it, reading about it in the paper and all that kind of stuff. But as I grew older, I grew not to like baseball that much. You know what I mean? I'll just be flat honest. Everybody who knows me knows that. And then, of course, my middle kid ended up being a damn good baseball player, so I had to like it because he was playing travel.
Finger to you, pal. He
was travel ball from the time he was 9 on, you know, and it was like, but I did like that because my kid was involved. But you know, it's such a, it just seems like it's spring training seems like it's like 3 weeks too long, I guess is my point.
They don't need that. They play 162 games. They don't need a full, 6 weeks to get ready for the season.
Right.
They're
spring training was important with the Masters. You understand that whole folklore, right?
Of course I do. That was like
with the sports riders.
Yeah, the trains.
Sports riders coming north. That's why it ended up being scheduled when it is. But we don't live in those days anymore.
No, we don't. But I saw that a lot of people saying that the Dodgers have ruined baseball for them. I'm like, it's not the Dodgers' fault.
Yeah.
Don't blame the Dodgers.
What about the Yankees before that? Did they ruin baseball for you?
Whichever mid to low market team that you like and your owner's not spending money and crying poor. Blame
some
them.
of them don't have the money.
Sell the team then.
Some of them don't have the money.
People that would want to buy it.
I know, but should it be a chess set for a super wealthy owner? I don't know. I mean,
if it gets you a World Series,
I think when you have a business, I think when you have a business, you have to have some kind of like plausible business plan that you're going to take in as much as you spend. You know, but
that's true.
The Dodgers, I don't think. Maybe the Dodgers bring in that much money. I don't know.
I just don't think they care.
I don't know how you could. Yeah, exactly. But I went to 2 Major League games, I told you last year when I was at the U.S. Open, because I stayed literally, my hotel was right across the street from PNC Park.
Okay, great ballpark.
And the first time I went back the next morning to the golf course, and I said, man, I saw my first Major League game in 15 years live. And the guy goes, who was it? He goes, I said, it was the Pirates and the Miami Marlins. And he goes, wait a minute, I thought you said you went to a Major League game. You know, it's one of those.
Unless Paul Skeens was pitching.
But what a great stadium. But I digress. No, I don't get that fired up anymore.
We were just talking about the Olympics. 2 years' time in the summer, we're going to get it here in L.A. And actually, we're going to get it right here in Columbus because Columbus is going to be hosting some soccer matches for the Olympics, which is fantastic. It's awesome to see that we're kind of getting the national shine that we deserve. I don't know exactly where these flag football games are going to be played, and you and I were just talking about in the break. From an Ohio State perspective, who knows which guys are going to be on this Olympics roster or Olympic rosters, depending on their nationality, representing their countries when we get to 2028. I think the bigger conversation that you and I were having is like, how do you break down that final roster? How do you cut it down to whatever the maximum number of players on that team can be?
Well, you had the dream team in basketball. This would be the creme de la creme team.
Oh, it's going to be
but here's the thing: internationally, I don't know. You know, I don't understand. When you look at football internationally, without a doubt, the United States, you know, It's where it was invented, et cetera. Even flag football, probably.
America's game.
I don't know how you make it fair for everybody else. I guess is my point.
You mean Bulgaria's not going to give us a good match?
No, they might. I mean, they might have superstars running around over there we've never heard of or seen, and or maybe even Belgium for that matter. But I just don't know how they're going to make it compelling.
I don't know.
The compelling will be when those teams play each other. But when Ohio State,
well, that pretty much,
because you could take any college team and just let them be your flag football team. They're your 7-on-7 dudes, because that's basically what it is, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And just let that team represent the United States of America.
And they'd be very good, if not the best, by a long shot.
Yeah. Now, I say that kind of flippantly, but I do mean it in the sense of I don't know how you're going to equalize things for the rest of the
I don't know.
For the rest of the world. Do you have an idea? Have you read about it?
No, I just thought it was really funny. I don't mean to say it flippantly, but I do mean this because I'm with you 100%. Like, I can't. Honestly, like, you may be able to put up like a rest of the world team against the U.S. in the Olympics and maybe put up a good game.
Or Europe versus United States. Kind of like it is.
What do you do at quarterback for flag football? Like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, what are you restricted to? Is Lamar Jackson going to play?
It's got to be Lamar or Josh Allen.
Yeah, right? I mean, what do you do against those guys?
Yeah.
Running backs, wide receiver? Like, is Jeremiah Smith going to make the team? Jackson Smith and Jigba just turned in one of the best seasons of all time.
I think Caleb Downs will have a great case to be on it, too.
Of course he will.
Of course he will. Yeah. I mean, right on down the line. I mean, you can just make it former Buckeyes versus the world.
Do we know who the coach is going to be? Has that been like?
No, I haven't seen that. But I do know this. Charles Bentley, former Buckeye center. I mean, he's big into helping guys train, everything like that. But he's been big in the flag football thing for many years now, and kind of a little bit of an ambassador for the National Football League about it. But mainly because if you go out and watch any of these flag football games, because one of my grandsons, he was 6 the last couple of years, he's played on those teams and had a great time.
Awesome way to get the kids involved.
And it incorporates, at least at that age group, girls and boys. And they have just a great time running around, man. And it's a good way to keep people from having concussions when they're like 8 years old.
Yes.
But
very good idea to keep them away.
But,
from
that. Real quick before we go, I was just marveling thinking this today. I was watching I keep saying Ohio State, the United States women getting their gold medals. And I'm just thinking, boy, when the United States, just like in women's soccer, when they finally put their mind to it and say, we're going to conquer this sport, they're
pretty good about doing it.
The United States is pretty good about doing it, despite some of the handicaps that they ran into the last, back in the ages about amateurism and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of cool to watch women's alpine skiing. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's the best. The downhill skiing is my favorite sport to watch.
But I'm talking about the way the U.S. women have come on and are just super studs, pardon the expression.
Yeah.
In that regard, it's crazy. And I just give it up to the United States.
Tim, had a great time with you this week. We'll check in again soon, all right?
Always, baby.
Everyone have an awesome night. We'll be back tomorrow for a full 2-hour extravaganza. Red's Hot Stove is up next on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rockman and